Today, I would like to introduce the Talmuds, the questions of young Adams. I think this story contains an important message that is relevant to the present day, a different perspective. See things from a completely different perspective, not the perspective that 100 out of 100 people, 1,000 out of 1,000 people, or 10,000 people, but the perspective that everyone out of 10,000 people see. There are many different sides to everything. Good and evil, misfortune and happiness always come together as a set. And they change form and shower down on people's lives. What you think is happiness may actually be the source of failure. Conversely, a crisis may be a sign of opportunity. So, once upon a time, there lived a young man named Adams. He was studying Judaism, but he came across a question that he could not solve on his own. Why does God give misfortune to good people and happiness to bad people? One day, the prophet Elijah came to the town where the young man lived. Adams rushed to Elijah's side and made the following wish. I want to solve my questions, and I want to see how God works. Miracles in this world together with you, a wise man. Would you please take me on a journey with you? Elijah said, Okay, you can come with me. But there is one condition. Whatever I do, you must not ask me why. Adams agreed, and they set off on a journey together. On the first night, the two stayed at the home of a poor couple in a village, and were treated to an unexpected feast. The next morning, as they were leaving the house, the couple's only possession, a dairy cow, suddenly died. The couple was heartbroken. When Adams saw this, he couldn't help but ask, why would God do something like this? Elijah scolded him, saying, I told you not to ask why. If you ask me again, I will leave your presence. On the second night, the two arrived at another town, where a very rich and greedy merchant lived. When Adams saw them, he gave them a cold shoulder, saying, I don't want to treat you, but I'll give you a glass of water. I won't let you stay at my house, but you can sleep under my eaves. The two spent the night sheltering under the eaves, shivering from the cold and rain. As they left the next morning, Elijah put back a tree that had been uprooted in the rich man's garden by the storm. Adams wondered why Elijah was being kind to the merchant, who had been so cold to them. But he held back the urge to ask. The third night, they arrived in another town. They stayed in a synagogue, whose members were all wealthy and greedy. The members only gave them a poor meal. As they left the next morning, Elijah prayed for them, saying, Blessed be you all. God bless you all to be good leaders. Adams muttered loudly to himself, I don't understand anymore, but refrained from asking questions. On the fourth night, they stayed at a synagogue in a poor village. Although all the believers were poor, they treated the two men very well. As they were leaving the next morning, Elijah prayed, God will bless just one of you to become a great leader. Adams, who had been listening to this, finally couldn't bear it any longer and asked the question, "Why are you, and God, kind to the rich but cold to the poor?" The prophet Elijah turned around and said this, "Since you have broken your promise to me, I will go away. However, before I go, I will tell you one thing. On the first day, in the house where the cow died, the wife of that house was scheduled to die at the exact same time. God killed the cow instead. In the town on the second day, I replanted the tree in the garden because there were 50,000 gold coins buried at the base of the tree, so that the greedy owner would not find them. On the third day, in the synagogue, if everyone became a leader, they would not be able to agree on anything, and the synagogue would eventually not be able to run. That is why I blessed everyone so that they would become like that. On the fourth day, in the synagogue, I blessed one person to become a leader because only one leader is needed. Then the synagogue would be run properly and the village would prosper." In this way, what God does cannot be understood by observing a certain phenomenon at one time. Please keep this in mind. After saying this, the prophet Elijah disappeared.